I've seen a lot of what was your reaction? Were you blindsided? I wasn't blindsided because, I know a few people that know a few people. Rich Paul spoke about how it was a roller coaster every day deciding between Philly, Cleveland, Miami, and Golden State. Everyone at some point was leading the race. Yeah, I'm sure. I think that's probably the case. I think it was definitely flip-flopping. I saw a lot of people like, man, why is he dragging this out? He's dragging this out for attention. He's looking for more attention from everybody. The reality is, I think he was quite a bit confused on what to do and conflicted. Because I think when you look at Cleveland and Miami, I think if you go back to Cleveland, even if you go back to Cleveland and win the championship, it's not going to be as good as 2016. So you can only really go mess that up. And if you go to Miami and win a championship, it's not going to be as good as 2012, 2013. So those two places kind of got eliminated just because of that. You look at Golden State, and I ultimately don't think Bron was ever able to get over, the history. And I understand it. I get it, right? I think what we all ultimately always knew is that's the hurdle to get over. I don't think it's the team. I don't think it's the organization, anything else. I think it's the history. We live in a day and age where everybody who doesn't have anything to say have something to say. And so he's going to get crushed if he comes to the Warriors. Oh, man, you went to team up with Steph. You had to go to them, da-da. All the things that people would have said. And I think ultimately that weighed in on the decision a lot because I've never seen so often and so much people, and when I say people, I'm talking about media, I'm talking about fans. I've never seen so many people who just want to find something to tear someone's legacy down. We live in a miserable-ass world where people just want to find anything to tear someone's legacy down. And this, for sure, had he come to the Warriors, would have been something that everyone would have tried to use to tear his legacy down. I even saw Charles Barkley say, look at it, now he ring chasing. Philly ain't won a ring in 60 years. Chuck, come on. Oh, he ring chasing. That dude chasing rings all the time. And I just, it's man, if he was chasing a ring like chasing a ring, I don't know that you go to the place that's never won in 55 years or 60 years or whatever it's been since the Philadelphia 76ers won a championship. You got to go do the work to bring that to that place. So needless to say, I think there's always this narrative of people trying to tear guys down, trying to tear their legacies down. And I ultimately think that played a big role in the Warriors not landing LeBron. Speaking of the 76ers, like I said, man, my man Bob does it again. Very good roster, but the pieces aren't as seamless as people think, I don't believe. I think they have to make it work. Now, by all means, the pieces are great. But it's not just plug and play. No, they got to figure these pieces out and move something around and tweak the offense a bit. And they got some figuring out to do. Nick Nurse got to coach the hell out of this team and make it work. It's not just a shoe-in. It's not just a shoe-in. I don't believe that. Talk about the defensive end. It's going to be more responsibility on Jaylen Brown to guard. VJ Edgecombe, you now got to guard the number one best guard. Every night, that's your responsibility. So, that's going to require some sacrifice. That's going to require some buy-in from the young fella. Young fella had a great rookie year. He coming back into his second year thinking this is my chance to take that jump. He kind of the fifth option. I think when you look at the biggest losers in this situation, it's arguably VJ Edgecombe. If I'm VJ Edgecombe's agent, I'm not sure I'm happy with the summer that the 76ers have had. If I'm just VJ Edgecombe's agent, because this could affect a lot for VJ Edgecombe. You go from being sometimes the second option when Embiid was out to sometimes being the fifth option. It's a big, big, big difference. I don't know if y'all understand how big of a difference that is. So I think the person who's going to have to figure the most out is VJ Edgecombe. He's still aspiring. He still want to be great. He still want to be an all-star. This ain't really set up for him to do that. So he's going to have some figuring out to do. And I think this team is going to have some figuring out to do. It's not just all right, everything's good as go. No, you got to make some stuff work. You got to move some stuff around. you're going to have to figure some stuff out. You're going to have to put a good system into place. So needless to say, I think if you're looking at this roster, you feel damn good about it. But I'm just pointing out a couple of the things that I think that this roster is going to need to figure out. But you're very happy with this roster going into the season. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers or anybody involved, fan, you name it, you feel good about this roster going in.